Welcome back, Daisy Cakes! Today I want to talk about Way Station by Clifford D. Simak. Why? Because I am Daisy Ex Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. This is part of my YouTube series where I look back at the early Hugo Awards and pick one of the nominees to add to my TBR list. I picked Way Station by Clifford D. Simak, which won the 1964 Hugo Awards, because I did not recall reading it and I had read all the other nominees. This is the second book by Clifford D. Simak, which I've picked for this Hugo series. The last one was Time is the Simplest Thing, where I discuss his biography, which you can click up here. But now I want to talk about the subgenre of science fiction pioneered by Clifford D. Simak, and which many attribute to Simak as a father of, and that is pastoral science fiction. Way Station is one of the books that epitomizes pastoral science fiction. But what is it? Pastoral science fiction is kind of the precursor to solar punk, where technology and nature live in harmony. At the very least, pastoral science fiction idealizes or romanticizes living in a rural setting or a small town. The word pastoral literally means life of a shepherd, and the term pastoral has been used to refer to art for literally thousands of years. Greek and Roman writers created works about shepherds, rural life, and landscapes untouched by city chaos. So we have pastoral landscapes, pastoral literature, pastoral poetry, and of course, pastoral plays. Shakespeare's play, As You Like It, about a young woman escaping from the city to the country, is considered a pastoral play. Pastoral science fiction is no different. Science fiction isn't always just neon cities and galactic wars. Sometimes the future is found in open skies, farmlands on distant worlds, and small communities trying to live gently with powerful technology. This is pastoral science fiction, a subgenre rooted in nature, memory, ecology, and emotional stillness. Some examples include Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. Although it's set on Mars, many of the stories feel like Midwestern Americana transplanted into space. Empty towns, lonely houses, wind technology is present, but the emotional focus is nostalgia and human fragility. Bradbury helped define the emotional tone of pastoral sci-fi, longing, memory, and beauty mixed with loss. Ursula K. Le Guin's The Word for World is Forest, which was first published in one of the anthologies I'm always recommending, Harlan Ellison's 1972 Again Dangerous Visions. It is a science fiction story deeply concerned with environment, land, and the destructive contrast between industrial and ecological ways of living. Though more political, it reinforces the pastoral idea that land and culture are inseparable. More recently, Becky Chambers' Monk and Robot series, which I called Solar Punk, is definitely also pastoral. In those books, a monk and a robot travel through quiet landscapes after humanity has restructured society around sustainability on the moon where they live, Panga. Technology exists, but gently. The story focuses on purpose, community, and being present. There's also a subgenre of this subgenre where pastoral science fiction is concerned, and I'm sure you've read at least one of these types of stories, and that is pastoral apocalypse, where humanity has reverted back to a more simple and pastoral way of life because they don't have any choice. Because, the apocalypse. Lee Brackett's 1956 novel, The Long Tomorrow, has been cited as the first example of American pastoral apocalypse. The Long Tomorrow takes place after a nuclear war where Amish farmers teach agricultural skills to refugees from the bombed out cities. Most of you may be more familiar with Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, published in 2014 and became an HBO series about a world where a flu pandemic wipes out most of the population and humanity reverts to a more simple rural way of living. Now, my belief is that genres and subgenres are only good for one thing, helping readers find books similar to the ones I've read before, basically a tag, since I don't think that many people are familiar with the term pastoral science fiction. I'm not sure how useful it is, but you can go down that rabbit hole and find even more variants like post-pastoral, urban pastoral, postmodern pastoral, revolutionary, lesbian, feminist pastoral, and on and on. But the man credited of starting it is Clifford D. Simak. His first notable work, City, published in 1952, is a collection of stories about robots and uplifted dogs, which unfolds in abandoned rural spaces. It's set after humanity has faded away, but the future here is gentle and reflective, almost wistful. But I want to talk about Way Station, originally published in Galaxy magazine as a serial called Here Gather the Stars in 1963, and ultimately winning the 1964 Hugo Awards. It is about an American Civil War veteran named Enoch Wallace who meets an alien disguised as a human. The alien likes Enoch and invites him to be the caretaker of a way station on Earth, which is sort of this node on a circuit for interstellar travelers, and galactic civilization is just now spreading to this arm of the Milky Way, and it needs Earth to be part of this circuit. Enoch agrees and names the alien Ulysses after what he says is a great man, which I take it to be Ulysses S. Grant, not the hero from the Odyssey, because this is during the Civil War. So the aliens set up Enoch's family farm in Wisconsin to be a way station. They don't change how it looks, but it's protected by a force field, and all the equipment is hidden. As long as Enoch lives in the farm, he does not age, but he likes to go for a walk about an hour a day to talk to the mailman and get in touch with the outdoors and keep touch with humanity. So he basically ages an hour a day or a couple of weeks per year. His duty at the way station is to greet and help out alien travelers who stop on Earth, the way station, as part of their journey through the galaxy. So everything goes fine for over 100 years. His neighbors may suspect something, but this is a very rural area, and the people there are sort of mind your own business sorts of people. But eventually the government starts catching on that something is up here. Add to that, one of the nearby farm families abuses their deaf-mute daughter, and Enoch finds himself getting involved. And add to that, there's a whole lot of galactic politics going on that Enoch is becoming more and more aware of, and Earth may somehow get entangled with. Back when I was really into science fiction in the 70s, I really liked Clifford D. Simak's books, but I always wondered why he wasn't as well known as other science fiction writers. Now that I'm reading a couple more books here in 2026, and Way Station is a perfect example, I've come to recognize that his writing feels really old-fashioned, and I'm talking about the prose. It can also be a little stilted and overblown. Also, Simak loves having long discourses on philosophy, including religion and spirituality, either as conversations between characters or the main character just ruminating, which if you don't like that sort of thing, you should probably stay away from his books. But for me, I like it. I still enjoy reading Simak, even recognizing that his type of writing is a little bit old-fashioned. His science fiction is always interesting and imaginative, and most of all, hopeful. But what about you? Have you read, or do you want to read, Way Station by Clifford D. Simak? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Keep an eye out for my next video where I pick a book from the 1965 Hugo nominees. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.